And thank you very much for being here in our committee. Nice to see you again. I've got 4 points, if I may. The first one is about CEDAW. It's 40 years since it was passed, and Beijing, Platform for Action, is 25 years since we're celebrating this year, if it is a celebration. So I was wondering if there was anything being done by the European Commission based on those principles and that law that we've passed so many years ago. So, for example, what I'm talking about is it's a very wide-ranging convention and platform. It deals with all the aspects we've talked about already. But one thing that I'm particularly interested in is tying those things into what's happening at the moment. So, for example, CEDAW allows us to enact, domestically as well as internationally, measures that remedy past injustices, not just formal inequality, but also inequality in outcome. If I can take one example that you mentioned about pensions inequality or pensions gap, past unequal laws have resulted in the outcomes for pensions, for women in particular, to be very, very bad. And if you look at Back to 60 in the UK, there's a big campaign about it, and there's a court case about it. So that's a practical example of one way of taking forward a strategy on gender equality based on maybe CEDAW principles or laws. So that's 2 points. One is I'm very happy to hear about the women on company boards, and as you know, European Women Lawyers Association, we worked very hard on that for 3 years. We're in over 170 AGMs talking about why haven't you got more women on your company boards, and producing evidence to help the strategy there. I'm very happy to hear that you're using an example from the UK, especially now difficult circumstances. We won't go into that, but pay transparency does work. But I would urge you also to think about what happens thereafter, because, as you said, pay transparency has to be comprehensive, and there have to be consequences for their not having either pay transparency or there being unequal pay between men and women. And then finally, I would also urge you, please, to look at violence against women and girls, and to make the girl visible, because she is the most discriminated person on the planet. Thank you very much for everything you do.